back on the engine. As you can see, just still in its first phase of paint, but that's beside the point. So this piece, you can find it. If the camera can focus on the thing. There you go. So this fiddly thing is the piece that fits on there. Now, as you can see, it's a bit bent. It's not what I want. The top bit goes into there, and then it goes down there, and so on. Let me see. It's in there like that. Hard to see black against black, but as you can see, it's not straight as I want it to be. So what I've done, got myself some brass rod, which is the same diameter as that part, and I've drilled some tiny holes into it, so basically going to be like that. So you can just about make out the holes, I think. So carefully drilled out the holes with one of this. Actually, I use this to just start the hole, because it's quite hard, it's taken a while. And then I put the Dremel and finish the job. I have to be careful, and as you can I don't know if you can see, but they're not very straight, or they're not exactly in the same line, but it's good enough for the job. So I've done this, so drilled little holes. There should be another one, this one here, but I can't bend this properly. I did a test bend with this tube and it ended up like that. As you can see, it's not flattened out around the bend. So I'm gonna cut this piece off here and stick it to the back of this tube, and so hopefully that should be okay. Of course, it should be just one piece, so I don't know if I'll be able to disguise it. Next step is to take some wire. This is a 0.3mm or thereabouts. Let me see, it's this Oasis Floral Products wire, and on the back there it says 3.2 grams. Sorry, 3.2 millimeters, 0.32 millimeters rather. So this next step is going to be fairly straightforward. Just going to dip the end into there, solder it down, and then cut it off, leaving a good piece of length to it. And so I do that 10 times of 10 holes. Should be 11 because there's one around the corner where it bends, but I haven't been able to bend it. So I'll solder these in first, and I'll worry about the last hole when I get to it. Yeah, but also next job is to cut another one of these. Well, is to make another one of these. So drill out another 10 holes and go from there. I could drill out the 11 holes. So basically, there's 12 things coming out of it, but one comes out at the front, so that will be fairly easy to do. And so it's just bending it or cutting the piece off and sticking the other piece to it. So we've got this far on the engine. I've made the that part with the cables going into the got tape on me. Cables going into the correct places there. There's still one cable to come off the tip there and into that hole there, and another one that comes off the back here and goes into there. Now these two cables that I mentioned earlier are that one there on the tip of that pipe and this one around the corner. So this is the first one I made. Also, what I also did was, which I didn't show you before, but on the back side of it I drilled a couple of holes that were roughly a millimeter. Well, exactly a millimeter, because that's the drill size I use to fit in the holes in there, and I put in bits of cocktail stick into there. Now the cocktail stick was a bit too wide for it, so I had to sand it down until it was just right diameter. I did that by putting the cocktail stick into the Minicraft tool and then just rubbing it against sandpaper until it was down to the right size. So yeah, and then using super glue to glue the bits of wood into the metal and then bring it back in. Hi everybody, so voiceover Mark here. So as you can see, I've made a little change to the exhaust, well, to that piece that I'm inserting into the engine right now. It's I took out the little bits of wooden toothpick and replaced them with a piece of twisted wire, as you can see there. I did this because they fit better into the pipe, and I could solder them in, and it was much better fit because I noticed the wooden bits were breaking off. So this next stage was trying to get these wires inserted in. Now this wire doesn't bend very easily, so it made it quite tricky to push them into the holes, but so it took quite a while to get them in there. In hindsight, I think using either a more flexible wire or something like a fishing line or something like that, which is a lot more flexible, may have been the way to go. But lesson learned from next time. I'll probably, if I do another engine similar to this, I'll certainly consider fishing line instead, because it's a lot more flexible, and it'll look the same when it's finally inserted. Right, and so it took me a while to get these little bits of wire into the little holes. 10 minutes I think I spent fiddling with these things per side, that is. Drilling another hole there or rather drilling out the hole to make sure that that there's enough room for the wire to go in. Anyway, so that's all the little bits of wire pushed in. That will be in a moment. Here we go. There you go. Lots of tweezer action here. So anyway, after all that was done, next stage was to paint these bits of metal. So here we go. So for this paint work, I used a light blue, which is a Tamiya XF23, I believe. I just checked it to make sure. And brush painting, the Tamiya paints they're not the best brush painting paints that I've used. They do dry a lot quicker than you think they should, but they do a good job anyway. So that was that. Painting these things is fairly straightforward, as you can see. Yeah, not much to say about that. So yeah, let's just have a quick look at painting of this pipe and wires, etc. Oh, and nearly forgot, the wires or ignition lines coming out of the pipe there were painted black to match the rest of the engine, which is, I believe, the correct colour as instructed in the manual. And so with the painting of these pipes in this light blue, I'm going to end the video with this little piece here. Tune in next time for more work on the engine and the rest of the airplane, of course. And if you've been watching this long, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you saw, tell your friends and press the like button, thumbs up. If you don't like what you saw, tell me why, or whichever it is, thank you again for watching. Take care, everybody, and happy modelling.